There with James Hird.
Well, Hirdy, the first game, really good positive start. You would have been happy with that?
Yeah, it's terrific. I think we practiced a lot over summer and a lot of that stuff came out in that first game. Obviously now the boys have got to get up and perform again, and yeah, we'll see what happens this game.
A lot of talk about your game plan and what you're going to do with this side. What aspect of your game tonight were you most happy with?
I think our ball movement was really well. I think the defensive side of our game was pretty good. We've still had a fair few holes through our defence, but yeah, just the overall way we moved the ball, won the ball at a contest was good. So there's still a lot of work to do, but we're pretty happy with some of the things we saw tonight.
Your first coaching experience in the box tonight, how did you find it?
Yeah, it was a bit hectic. There's a bit going on, I'll tell you that. I think at one stage we had 16 men on the field, so that was a bit of a mistake. But yeah, it was good fun, and it was good to get away with a win.
You're going to make many changes this game. Who can we expect to see out there?
Yeah, we have made a few changes. I think Gumbleton's come in, Carlisle's come in, Mark Williams has come in, Courtney Dempsey's come in, name a few. So we try to rotate the squad. Joe won't be playing, Mark McVeigh won't be playing, sort of all the older guys. We try to take out any guy that had any injury concerns.
Thanks for your time, Hirdy, and good luck.
Thanks, Richard. See you later.
It's going to be fascinating, isn't it? Because they've had the bigger break, lots of changes. The Saints can only make the 3 changes. Let's go back to Nick Revolt. Nick, what impressed you about that first match for St Kilda tonight?
I think it was just the systems and the structures that we hold really valuable to our team, the way we play, and a lot of new guys and young guys coming into the side, they were able to adapt to those structures and carry them out pretty well.
Nick, in the first game, Joe Watson said to Richo afterwards, he said, I don't feel I've done any training. I am so tired after this first match. So for the Saints to go again, I mean, physically, do you think it will be tough on a hot night like tonight?
Yeah, physically it will be demanding, and that break, you really demand and you like continuity as a player. So having that break, we'll put a few of the senior guys, I suppose, at a little bit more risk. There'll be a couple nervous conditioning staff on the sidelines. I think we heard James Hird just say that they're going to rest some of the more senior players. So to come out after a bit of an extended break will be difficult, but you know, there's a lot of professionals in charge of looking after the players' safety these days.
And of course, you can only make 3 changes. Nick, you've had some terrific recent pre-season form. Final last year, you've won a premiership under Ross Lyon pre-season. So is it important to try and get through to the quarterfinal and stay in the NAB Cup from your point of view?
There are lots of benefits staying in. Obviously, you get to play on the good grounds, in good time slots. You don't have to travel too much potentially. So there are the benefits of going through, but I think Ross touched on it before the game. For us, it wasn't about the result tonight. He spoke about making the scoreboard irrelevant. It was about how we approached it, where we were able to stick to our structures and systems and attack the ball at 100% like we demanded all times from our players.
Nick, really appreciate your contribution tonight, mate. Thanks very much.
Thanks, guys.
Terrific, Nick Revolt. Let's go back down on the ground. You can see the Bombers going through their warm-up here. Let's go back to Tom Harley and Nick Maxwell.
Thanks very much, Bruce. Well, Nick, you were down here on the boundary watching the Bombers in that first game first up. What caught your eye?
Yeah, obviously it's been talked about the way they're going to perform, pushing right up. And I think obviously we've seen that from St Kilda. Collingwood started to do it last year. So their forwards have been pushing right up and trying to put that pressure on, and their defenders working up as well. So they're really trying to play the game in their half.
And these two clubs have had very different pre-seasons. St Kilda obviously going through to the grand finals against Collingwood. Essendon with a longer extended pre-season. Will that have an impact on the result in this third game?
Look, it's only a 40-minute game, 2 20-minute halves, obviously, so I think it will still have an impact. This is the first time that St Kilda have had a hit out, so you'd expect the younger legs of Essendon to sort of be on top of them.
And we've heard a lot of the clubs talk about this break who play in games 1 and 3. Is it much of a difference to a normal half-time break?
Look, 2 and 3 isn't, 1 and 2 isn't, 1 and 3 is, so look, I think Essendon, they'll get over them.
Interesting taking a look at a few players because the Bombers have revamped their forward line. Scott Gumbleton will play in this one. Played 17 games last season. By his standards, that's a heap. Takes his total to 22 over his career. Obviously, he's a player who a lot was expected of, and he will be better for this gallop. We said that last year as he's working his way through those 17 games, Lee.
He's an interesting player. I mean, he's in his 5th year. He was drafted number 2 5 years ago. Really highly rated, but still only played 22 games in that period of time because he's continually getting injured. And I really look forward when you come to see a player like Gumbleton, that another summer's weight program. Has he lost that boy sort of lankiness, and does he look like he's growing into his frame? He's certainly got a lot of talent, and we spoke a lot about Michael Hurley, didn't we? And he was impressive in his first game. He's a substitute in his second game, but now Gumbleton gets the chance first up to just prove to Essendon he can be as good as those glimpses are indicating.
So the nightcap, game 3. Winner takes it all as far as tonight is concerned. Certain to go on to the next round of the NAB Cup. Opening bounce. Ryder gets up very high and taps it down. Hand pass comes out from Howlett. Well, sort of comes out. Collier's in there with the football. Backing out of the pack is Lonergan. Good aggressive stuff. Stolen away by Dempster. Got a hand pass forward. Now the kick from Goddard. Floats it down towards half forward. Hangs a long time in the air. Neagle comes up. Starting in defence, it seems, and he punches away. Gamble involved earlier. Now he's changed his boots, Bruce. Just look out for that. That's a trap.
See, the other ones weren't too bad for him, Dennis.
They were great for us. I don't know about him. They were blue.
And he kicked 3 goals with them. Howlett to Collier. Collier had a really good opening season last year along with Howlett. G. Walsh was brave there. With a friendly fire from Winmark. So free kick against him, though. And here's Carlisle. So he's one of the 9 changes in the second match. Couple of changes for the Saints. No Cripps and no Geary for the second match. Missed there by Gwilt. Heard the umpy. Winderlich comes in. Push away by Goddard was clever. Fisher under pressure. Goddard, is it high? No. Can't find the footy. It'll be a ball up.
It's a lot of players. I mean, you can't count them. There must be 20 around the footy.
So a bounce that floats to about 8 metres out and helped on its way and a minor score. Crowd not happy with that concession, but common sense.
Got to be careful with that one. If that goes through on the full, it's a free kick against the defensive team knocking it through.
Nick Del Santo. Little chip to the pocket. That's okay.
Right on there.
Armitage was pretty good earlier.
Stay clear, James. Play on, play on.
Amazing with 2 games. You can have the best and worst of nights as he kicks it up towards the wing. Beckley cutting right out. Hits the ground running. Hawking 75 metres out. Hooks it down towards the pocket. Welsh goes after it. Gumbleton lays it off. Collier deep in the pocket. Snaps and hits the post.
She was good attempt, wasn't it?
Beauty.
And this was some mark. He's a wonderful player, Ryder.
I think he likes playing in the ruck. He's started there in this game.
So Fisher down the line. And getting over the top, that's Hibbard, the new fella. Won the same medal that Barlow won last year. The under-24s in the VFL. I think it's the Fothergill round medal.
Yep.
So the Saints work it in. Here's Smith getting back, and then on the left foot, smothered by Howlett was a beauty. Then Howlett paddles it back to Dempsey. So Dempsey with those fresh legs. Slattery, good hands over the top. Howlett down the line. Cranberry kicked 3 goals in the opening match. He's caught up. Good tackle coming in. And that was from Clark, Ralph Clark. And there's Ross Lyon looking on at the Chargers.
And Mark Williams, ex-Hawthorn, playing in the forward line for Essendon. Because their forward line's pushing right upfield, he doesn't get a chance to get his standard ball, which is leading at the kicker.
Lonergan taken down in a strong tackle. Ball bouncing around in there eventually. Extricating it, Montagna, who goes down towards half forward. That's a beautiful kick. Gamble growing in confidence. Finished the game in sparkling style. The previous game, lobs it inside the 50. Hibbert takes the mark, plays on immediately. Stanton, run from both ends. Stanton to the back pocket, now goes back over the shoulder. Hibbert, who gave it to him. Well-controlled kick. Hits Neagle on the chest.
I'm
Neagle
getting on him.
puts it out of bounds on the full. Well, it doesn't matter. Last touch out of bounds on the full. It's all bad news. Here's Archer. So rookie listed this season. Served notice by the new coach. Initially get fit. And I suppose trying him down the back is to get him fitter and teach him a little more discipline. Archer, it's easier to slack off as a forward. You're more noticeable as a back. Through it goes for a behind, and Hibbert will kick it in.
Tell you what, Tom hasn't slacked off tonight as a back. He's been up and down like a yo-yo. How you going there, Tom, all right?
Yeah, I'm going okay.
You're more tired than the players, Tom.
So Lovett Murray to Howlett. You like Hibbert, don't you, Tom?
Yeah, I do.
First couple of touches have been good, haven't they? Here is Williams, who Lee spoke about a moment ago, to Carlisle. It'll be pretty interesting to see his development as well. The kick to the pocket was slow to Monfries. Well, Cranberry can kick the goal. He's got 4 tonight, 3+1.
Been really impressed with the work rate of the Essendon players. We talked how the half forwards are pushing up, but it's all well and good to push up. You've got to push back hard. Yep. They've even been able to turn the experienced St Kilda defenders inside out. So really positive signs.
Armitage at the base of the pack, spills off hands, taken by Del Santo, hurries it down towards half forward, reaching over the top. Slattery thumped it away. Armitage came strongly though. Beautiful kick. Gamble once more. So goals coming quickly.
Well, Ryan Gamble obviously made a name for himself as a half-forward at Geelong. He spent last year playing in the back line. The Geelong coaches decided with the players like Steve Johnson and Chapman there wasn't a spot for Gamble in the forward line, so experimented down back. The talk through pre-season was Ryan Gamble prefers to play his footy at half-forward, and he's showing a bit early.
Certainly recruited as a half-forward for the Saints. And he'll be staying there on what we've seen tonight. And he comes and kicks another one. Doesn't matter about the colour of the boots.
Experiment taking place in the Essendon defence tonight. Jay Nagle, who's been dropped to the rookie list, questions on him in the forward line. James Hurd's giving him a chance at full back. He was on Ryan Gamble then, but good move by Hurdy to put him down back and experience a different position.
Saw Jenkins in the ruck. Ledger, good tackle. Hard from Monfries.
No attempt at all. Must make a genuine attempt. Play on.
Heard the explanation. Hipper G again. Lovely kick, that one on the right foot to Prismal. Ex-Cats, a couple of ex-Cats out there for opposition teams. Well done, Dent. So he stood up in that tackle. Blake under the hood. This is a hot footy at the moment. Jenkins got down low, threw it away. Goddard and Jetta. Still the ball to come out. And I think it might be a ball up eventually. Good contest, isn't it?
Both teams are getting a lot of players actually to the footy, so it's really hard to extricate the ball when it's in disputing close.
Ball floats to Ledger. He misses it initially, and then here's the meat in the sandwich. Jenkins on one side, Winderlick on the other.
You know, he tried to just kick the ball quickly out of the pack. I reckon that play is going to become more important as this congestion around the footy, kicking it 40 metres forward.
Jetta does nicely, brilliantly in fact. Releases Dempsey. This for 9, well, it's way off course and just sneaks home for a behind.
And the change in, I guess, defensive structures for Essendon is going to be interesting for a player like Dempsey. We all admire the way he attacks from half-back like he has done on that occasion. What I'd love to see from him this year is some more desperate acts, I guess, arm across defence in the back half.
McWalter got it from Peake, goes in short. And this is Lynch out towards the wing. Just under 11 minutes remaining in this first half. Montagna, he's been precise. And again with the kick, spilt this time by Archer, last touch. Now he deserves that, so it's not a bad rule that time.
Wasn't that the marking contest and he spilled it?
No contest, Lee. Should have held it. So Stanton was a lovely kick from Montagna. Collier just slipped over the wrong time. And that'll be a free kick. So poetic justice on 2 counts here, one after the other. Dempster short.
Inside 56 points, right on the line.
So this is Hayne.
6 points.
To the top of the goal square. Archer got a feel for it. Hooker belted it away. Melsham down low. Got a fair bit of guts there, Melsham, and be a ball up.
He's actually, it's amazing. He's the second-year player too. He looks much stronger with that extra Summers weight program. He just really looked like the schoolboy size and shape in his first year.
The other thing with all the changes, it means that everyone who gets out there is really hungry. They didn't play that first game, so the tempo is so high at the moment, isn't it?
Knocked out of there by Lovett Murray. Melksham over the head of Gumbleton. That's cruel. Runs away from him. He was metres in the clear, but it's going to be a St Kilda free kick. Interesting, Stuart Crameri has booted 4 goals tonight. You think about Angus Monfries, their leading goal kicker last season with 24, the lowest total to be the top scorer for Essendon since 1921. This is Gwilt. No one behind him as he's got the ball at half-back. Nice kick, finds Fisher. Collier comes to him. Fisher, beautiful finish. Missed down there by Del Santo, coming through as Hooker. He's surrounded. Ball trickles out of there, then reeled back in by Hayne. Almost been penalised. Standing his ground, Fisher. Last man there, Carlisle, just bringing up the rear, suddenly got the football. Fisher lays it off. Looping hand pass comes out wide from Dempster, taken by Goddard. Knocked down there by the big guy Jenkins. Falling down Del Santo. And I think the umpire, I thought he was going to penalise him. He won't. He'll ball it up. That ball locked in.
Nick Maxwell, what do you got for us, Nick?
Mate, Mark Williams had a lot of injury troubles in his first year at Essendon, but from all reports, he's had a big pre-season. He only needs 3 or 4 touches in and around the 50, and the Bombers will be hitting the scoreboard.
He actually kicked 3 goals in his NAB Cup match last year against West Coast, so he started the year well, Mark Williams, but got the ankle injury, and that was it early on. Neagle belting it away. Melsham running hard with Gamble. Well done. Melsham, that was terrific. Kick towards Cranberry and also Blake. Cranberry's toe poke. Raf Clark. Gee, looks an athlete, Clark, doesn't he? You'd love him to have a big full season. Only played about 13 matches last year. Baker. Oh, good job, Hayne. He showed a bit of guts there. So Neagle filling the worst for wear. Hayne actually made his debut. He only played 3 games last year, but he made his senior debut against the Bombers. It's a good mark. So this from about 48 metres.
Margin, just a point then. Winner wins the night. Telling kick outside the defensive 50. In trouble in front, Baker emerges with the football, virtually hand pass to himself. Fisher in trouble, lays it off to Blake, falling to the ground, hoists a high ball inside the 50. Oh, terrific mark. Hooker, who appears bigger this season, going back with the flight of it. Lovett Murray right under the chest of Mick Walter. Touch ball inside the 50, taken by Lynch, gives it away to Ledger. Ledger kicks a goal. The boy from Claremont.
Such a hot night, Ledger. Well, he writes the ledger for the Saints. Lenny Hayes. Lenny, thanks for joining us. You're up there with Nick Reaver. Just the work on the centre square, because the Collingwood really dominated you in those 2 grand finals. Is that something you've concentrated on in the pre-season?
Yeah, it is, Bruce. We've done a fair bit of work on that over the summer, and you know, one of the things we talked about is trying to get a lot more guys through there and getting guys more experienced in there. So that's something that I think tonight that showed out for us.
Are you pleased with what you've seen so far in that midfield tonight?
Yeah, I think it's been really competitive. Obviously our first hit out for the year, but I think some of the young guys have gone in there and done really well.
Thanks for that, Lenny. Goddard! Oh, we've said that before. Just at the other end, wasn't it? Kicking for goal, goes short.
Lynch plays on immediately. Montagna through the centre square, sends it deep inside the forward 50. Up in front, Hooker. Hitting the pack hard was Milne. McAvoy to Milne. He's away. Has a goal coming up. No one comes to him. Slattery belatedly. Milne puts it through for a goal.
See him as Sam Fisher, I think, just bailed out at the last minute when he saw Goddard floating in. But it's then just the ability to pick the right target in the centre square. It's high risk, high reward.
So the Saints put a little bit of a margin on the Bombers here. So Stanton got it ripped off. Hayne, well done. Aggressive.
Is he the most versatile player in the game, Brendan Goddard?
Well, I think he's the prototype for the modern footballer.
I think he probably is. He could play at any of the thirds of the ground and play it well.
I remember a Friday night match we did last year, Tom, where you compared Bryce Gibbs with Goddard at that stage. You know, Gibbs the younger, maybe, version of what
has
Goddard
got the
is now.
aerial power of Goddard, has he?
No, but...
Goddard, Pavlich, Goods.
Oh, I'm salivating here.
Melksham, quite the opposite, was waiting for the pack to come down on top of him. They were salivating. He's got the free kick. He's a good young player, Melksham. Plays on. Out of defence, Stanton. Little kick along the wing. That was Brown. Follows up and gets it again. Kicks inside the 50. Cranberry was up. He's a constant from their forward line in the first game, but Having said that, not too many others. They've redefined that forward line.
I mentioned earlier, but hasn't Melksham just grown and stronger appreciably in his this is second year in the game?
Gumbleton has been a big change down there forward. Here's Lonigan in trouble. Taken by Armitage. Graham. Payne went to ground against the flow. And the umpire will call for it, I think, and we'll have a bounce. Just going back to game 1. The goals did come easier for the Bombers. Stanton kicked 2, including a 9-pointer. Hurley slammed through 3. As Warnie's heart skips a beat. Despite that, Hurley has been sent to the substitutes bench. Footy sometimes mirrors life.
You saying Hurley got sent to the substitutes bench?
Not sure what happened. Collier has a snap, and he kicks it behind.
Oh, I love it. And speaking of Hurley, he's taken the green vest off. Hurdy might be looking for another win. Might bring Hurley back.
I reckon Hurdy would be quite pleased with this situation. Suddenly he sees them in a different light from game 1, Tom.
I think you're right. It's been a really interesting night for Essendon. I think they came out and played a really young and experienced Brisbane lineup, but to test their physicality against a hardened side at St Kilda is almost a perfect preparation for them.
Melsham to Winderlick to Lovett. Murray. Oh, well done there by Archer. Terrific. And Armitage to McWalter down low, and then McWalter runs it hard and kicks to centre wing. Gamble got to the front. Niggle's taken a good one. He's teased a bit, Niggle, hasn't he? In fact, he's teased a lot. You think back to that Geelong match in the opening round last year. Things could have been oh so different. Fisher on the left. Has to sit and wait. Graham. Rode out of it by Dempsey. Well done, Hibbert. He's been very good. He's only had 4 touches, but they've all counted.
Young Brown did very well too. Peeled off his man, came to the contest. This is Momfries at the interchange gates. Inside the forward 50. McAvoy growing in stature. Drops back and takes the mark. Breaking for him is Walsh. He's been handy tonight. The Irishman prances away. Chips towards half back. McWalter to centre field. Too tall for Graham. I think he may have been called out of it anyway by Ledger. Ledger swings around, and that's a beautiful kick. Gamble's got it. Runner outside. Gives it to Montagna. Montagna long. Stanton will need to go off hands. Leading back in the race. I think it's the big guy. Socketed off the ground and gets the goal. Johnson put it through. We talked about his kicking earlier. That was a safe bet.
We've seen a fair few times where the defensive teamers might have the extra player in the aerial contest, but they just haven't been able to make a good spoil. We'll see. I think it'll be Brett Stanton who will actually arrive at the contest third up for Essendon, but he just can't make the effective spoil.
It's one part of the game that you can't simulate at training.
Yeah.
When the ball's in the air in a match-like situation,
yeah.
I think that's probably got part to do with it. With the couple of times. Yeah, it's just reading the ball in the air.
So a couple of youngsters getting involved here for the Saints as well. So some good signs. Johnson with that goal. He had a couple of shots in the previous match against Brisbane.
Clear square. Clear square. Boys, dog out.
So McAvoy and Ryder. I feel like McAvoy's ready to take the next step, don't you? He's going to be a key to St Kilda over the next 5 years. Goddard brilliantly out of the centre. Kicks to centre.
Hold.
Advantage to Milne. So Stevie Milne bangs it through, and the Saints charge away now.
Well, that's the rule. That's the perfect explanation of the rule, where Stephen Milne's got the advantage. He's dictated the play. Important for Essendon now. They had a great start against a really inexperienced Brisbane side, and then St Kilda flexed their muscles a bit. So
yeah, they're playing well, St Kilda, but I think the importance of someone who can control your back 50. When Merritt was out there for Brisbane, they were more competitive. When Fletcher was out there for Essendon, their back 50 was just controlled. They haven't really got the general out there now, Essendon, and St Kilda's forward line is just finding ways to score too easily.
And no Pears, of course. He's still injured. He's a really important player as well for them down back, I think, eventually.
The organiser, though, is so important.
Yep.
James Hird looking for another angle down at ground level. St Kilda with the last 5 goals in 15 minutes. Jenkins up high. Was that in the back? Yes, it was. And it's going to be a free kick to the Saints. It'll be taken by Alistair Smith.
Right on it. Move it on. Play on.
Looks down towards half forward. Coming on a searching lead is Lynch. Well, he slipped away. Made it his own. Now, that stands for North. There's the siren. Three-quarter time. No, it's not. It's half-time. What am I saying? As the night wears on, Bruce, if you notice concentration, well, I can speak for myself, it's starting to desert me. St Kilda 5-2, Essendon 1-4. The Bombers. Stars earlier tonight have some work to do.